Ooh, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Bitcoin is dumping and your man is warning you already since 6 days. I said the dump is loading. On the weekend I said we only got 12 hours left for the 50-day EMA. I'm seeing more downside. This dump is not over. And yesterday I said we're losing the last support. This is bearish. Well, guess what? We got a big dump yesterday and we right away got a big dump at the beginning of the day. And all I did was just reading the chart. I'm not a moon boy. I'm not going to tell you we're going to 100k, yippee yay, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm just reading the chart. Nothing more, nothing less. And what is the chart is telling me? We are changing market structure. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We are underneath the value area low, the thick blue line. I've mentioned that multiple times. We are underneath the 50-day EMA that's running somewhere here. We have market Cipher B on a bigger time frame, money flowing to the red, momentum wave lower, VWAP lower, RSI is pointing lower. This is most likely not the bottom. Now we can still have a green day, we can still pump up a little bit, but this needs to first curve or kind of roll over. That will take multiple days. So this dump is definitely not over yet. Before I'm zooming in, where could we go? This is the major area that I'm looking at. 53,000, 52,000 all the way to say approximately 50,000. Let's just mark this as a box. Let's see how price reacts when we're there. Let's now zoom in because we had these two very important trades. We are now on Bitcoin on the hourly, and I said the first one would be from that golden pocket, an SFP, and then we are taking out these dumps that we created here during Iran and Israel attacks. And yesterday we had a very shallow SFP. Matter of fact, we took it on the CME, we took it on Coinbase, but we did not make a SFP, so really taking liquidity on Bybit. And I was looking at the Bybit chart and out of nowhere suddenly we just pumped up. I missed along, very frustrating, but therefore no good long trade here. I'm taking this one out. This was from the golden pocket. And the other one was from taking the liquidity of the very first all-time high pump and dump. So a new all-time high was created, we right away crashed down, that created liquidity, and that is right away where we were. To be honest guys, it doesn't look super bullish at the moment. Yes, we are reclaiming the level, but so far I don't see a whole lot of longs coming in. It is just a very big part of people that is still shorting. Let me, by the way, also take this one out. There's just one thing that I want to show you. This is from yesterday. Yesterday was a little bit of a frustrating day, I'm not gonna lie. We are just grinding lower and lower and lower and lower, and I said to you, I will try to get into a short if I see a bounce. We had a very slight bounce, once from a golden pocket, a 78.6, and a point of control, a previous day low. I tried to long it, but every time we went up like 0.2, 0.3% to just reverse again, and I got stopped out at entry because I was pretty aggressive on moving my stop loss. So yeah, very weird actually to see that we just had a grind lower without any significant retrace, and eventually it was 19 hours and 8%, and without any retrace. That is pretty rare to see. So yeah, you could have said, okay, if I shorted then it just hold it was a very fat profit. But these kinds of price action where you are not respecting any level and just slowly grinding lower, every hour you're doing 0.1 to 3% lower for 18 hours or 19 hours straight, yeah, then eventually you end up with a minus of 8%. Then we're finally seeing a little bit here of action. Then Asia woke up and said, let's dump, and now we are going lower again. If you're not in trade, once again, please guys, take it slow, take it slow. There is nothing for you to rush. Right now we are a little bit of no man's land. Why am I saying this? Well, the most important resistance above us is that value area low that's all the way up now to approximately 62,000, so that's pretty high. And the most important support is then this area of 52.53. This is too short of a time frame to now say long or short. I want to see a little bit more market structure. So for example, on the 1 hour, I actually would like to see a higher high and a higher low, so that we do something like this, eventually come lower, and then this would be your long trade, and you put your stop loss underneath. Then you have a little bit more confirmation, or we could also be very aggressive, and let's say we're taking out these highs right here, then to come down. This could of course also be your long, but why do you want to catch the bottom? It's very nice for the P&L shots for social media to say, I longed exactly this, but trust me, people will constantly long, and eventually they have a trade that works out, and they will never show you those 10 trades where they failed, but only that one trade where they catch the bottom. So do yourself a favor, let it play out, wait just a little bit before you have more confirmation before you are getting into a trade. Right now, again, this could be a long area. I know we have it on the chart. I am not longing it because I want to wait for New York Open, I want to wait what is happening there. If I'm just looking at the market Cipher B indicator, this doesn't look like a bottom formation. We are not having any bullish divergence, and you can see that the money flow here is still pretty deep in the red. Then I'm zooming out to the 4 hour. Exact same story. Yes, this could maybe in the next 4 hour candle or this 4 hour candle print a green dot, go a little bit higher, but the money flow is still coming down. And I expect also maybe to have another wave to the downside, because usually this right here where we just see the momentum wave is going lower, lower, lower is not a signal for a bottom. You want to see the opposite way where the momentum waves are slowly coming up and then maybe prices coming lower a little bit, and that is then eventually your signal on a bigger time frame to get into a trade. So also right now I'm not in a rush at all. I just want to let it play out. Daily, I also already talked about earlier. Whoo, baby. This looks bad. I mean, this is not a bullish divergence anymore for the people who were looking at this. Money flowing to the red, VWAP lower, and the momentum wave fat to the downside. RSIs are pointing together. If these are melting together, that signals strength. So that signals strength then to the downside. So then you can also expect more downside. So I will be very, very careful. We also just closed a monthly candle pretty fat into the red, and that I think it was more than minus 15%. Majority came from the dump from yesterday, like you just saw, that was 8%. But for now I would be careful, and I am still looking for shorts. So any bounce that I see, maybe to this level right here, 59, or from the VWAP, you just saw an alarm here popping off. That was for me a reason to look at a trade. That for me would be a possibility to get into a short, and I'm just riding to the downside. I'm having a hard time believing that this is the low, at least for like a temporary low. I think we can see another move to the downside before we are really seeing buyers stepping in. Because as of for now, and I've been looking at CVD, what we talked about yesterday, people are still shorting. So there is a major amount of people shorting, and therefore the price is going lower. Eventually, of course, if these shorts need to close out, you're getting a major move to the upside. I get that. But for now, sellers are much stronger. And I mean, you just have to look at the candles and the market structure here to see that the bears are just completely taking over. There are no buyers in sight. There are just no buyers in sight. That is an absolute fact. If you look into the books, there are just barely any buyers, and there's barely any volume to push the price higher. That is what it is. I am going to update you on Twitter today and tomorrow, of course. Later on today we also have FOMC that will most likely move the markets. Not a whole lot will happen. Everyone expects that the interest rate will just stay as it is. No hike, no decrease. So there will not be too much firework. The speech after might move the markets, because in December everyone was expecting a rate cut in May. Now of course we're not getting that, so then now everyone's waiting. So when are we then getting the rate cut? It might be in 2025. Going to be interesting. I will definitely watch that, and I will update you on Twitter. For now, guys, please be careful. If you really want to trade, I would say try to short instead of long. Just trade with the trend before you're really seeing a market structure change. And once you really see that, you can try a long, but please be careful. Move your stop loss aggressively and take profit aggressively if you are longing. That will be it for now. Thank you guys so much. If you like the content, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think this is useful. Also feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Both of those links you'll find in the description. Without further ado, see you in the next one. Bye bye.